Shut up and sit down.
What's the story, Internet? Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is enjoying the international break of football. I haven't been paying too much attention to it, except that England won twice, so that's wonderful news. But I wanted to take this opportunity when there are times such as the international break or when there's a lull in football to discuss things going on in the world of football, especially with a focus on how I think that money is ruining the beautiful game. So today I want to talk about something that only just came out today. It came out earlier on today. It is called The Big Picture. Now, the big picture is an idea between Premier League clubs and Championship clubs to have an influx of money into the league. So the way, in my understanding, and obviously there are things that can be researched if you are interested. I'm using an article by The Guardian newspaper in England to get my information. The top 6 teams will be a part of the deals with the Premier League, especially the television rights. And what those 6 teams are supposed to do is do parachute payments, which means that that these clubs are supposed to make the money trickle down to the other teams. Now, it's a bit of a strange one because it seems to be a deal between the top 6 teams and the English Football League. The Premier League's not happy with it, the British government isn't happy with it, and other teams aren't happy with it. So EFL chairman Rick Parry said that this is a great idea. And I'm just going to read a paragraph about what it's going to be. So the big picture would involve Football League clubs taking 25% of future Premier League deals. These changes would be accompanied by further reforms shrinking the Premier League to 18 places, ending the Carabao Cup and giving the 9 longest serving top flight clubs preferential votes. Now, so that you're going to go from 20 teams to 18 teams, which is ridiculous anyway. You're going to end the Carabao Cup or the League Cup or the Carling Cup or whatever it's called. And then you're going to give all this money to the top 6 teams, which, yes, that does include Manchester United, but still. And in that way, it's going to trickle down to the other teams. Now, the teams that seem to be impacted the most are from League 1 down. League 1, League 2 and the non-league football. But even still, this is going to increase the distance between the top 6 teams and the rest of the league. But it's also going to make it harder for teams to get into the league if it's only 18 places. What we're going to do, have one team relegated and one team promoted? Well, that's not really fair for the Championship teams, and it's not really fair for the bottom of the table either. Just to use an example of American sports with the MLS and the USL, Major League Soccer and the United Soccer League, there is no flow through. So you can finish top of the USL every year or bottom of the MLS every year, and there's no punishment or reward. There's no flow through from that. So is that how it's going to become? The government has labelled this as a backroom deal. It sounds very dodgy, very, very dodgy, especially on the backs of the Premier League teams announcing that they were going to start charging £15 per match for people to watch them, regardless of what broadcast company they've got in England. Now, there is a caveat to that. If that is to make up for gate revenues, since there's no one going to the matches, and as long as it finishes once the pandemic finishes, then that's fair. But if it continues and it's just a money grab, then you're going to start alienating people. Because the thing with football is that it's accessible. It's accessible to anyone. It's not a sport like polo or cricket or say, for example, if you're playing a heavy instrument like a trombone, or you're playing a piano or something like that, where it's not as accessible. Football is accessible to anyone and everyone. And if you're going to start charging for things like that, then you're going to alienate the people that mean the most, and that's the fans. And especially with everything that's going on right now, we've found out that football without fans is nothing. And so if this is an idea to generate more money, it becomes a question of at what cost. Because if you push away the fans, then you're only going to make money for a certain amount of time. And the scariest thing to me with that television deal, the £15 a match, the only team in the Premier League who voted against it was Leicester City. And that is disgusting, in my opinion. Disgusting. And that's why the likes of the Glaziers at Manchester United, Fenway Sports Group at Liverpool, the owners at West Ham, Stan Kroenke at Arsenal, what's his name from Newcastle, the owner of Sports Direct, Mike Ashley, they are ruining the game that I love to watch. And then you get owners like the chairman at Leicester, who unfortunately passed away, but his legacy is being continued through his family. And that's how you should run a football team. Or like the fan ownership in Germany, where it's the 50-1 rule, where that means that the fans own the football club. And ticket prices are like €20 a match and things like that. That's how you run a football team. It's not a for-profit organisation. I'm not saying that they shouldn't make money, and I'm not saying that football is not profitable. But it's for the love of the sport, it's for the fans, the people who work 40 hours a week and then on the weekend use it as their release. It's not for the people that don't know what football is. It's not for the owners to come in and make a quick profit and ruin teams like Bury, like Wigan, like Milton Keynes, where they destroy teams and then there's no punishment or there's no regulation in place. So that was the first in a series of videos that I'm going to try and make about the negatives, the dark side of football, if you will, especially when it comes to money. Because I think that this influx of money, not just with transfers, but money in general, like I mentioned, those owners, just ruining the sport, just like other sports have been ruined. So this project, Big Picture, is a bad idea. It's a bad idea for the sport, it's a bad idea for the players, it's a bad idea for the fans, it's just a bad idea. The only people that will profit are the chairman or the board of directors, the owners of the football teams. No one else will profit from this. No one else will get anything good from this. And so I just want to bring light to these things. So one of the episodes that I want to do coming up will talk specifically about the owners, the Glaziers, the Stan Kroenkes, the Mike Ashleys of the world. So next time we have an international break, or next time we have a lull in the football, that'll be what I discuss. But please go and do your own research on the big picture and let me know your thoughts, because I think it's absolutely disgusting. So anyway, I hope everyone is doing well, staying safe, keeping out of trouble, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.